Welcome back. Let's be honest. Younger women don't always flirt the same way with older men as they do with guys their own age. They play it differently, and for a good reason. They're aware of the age gap. They know you've got more experience, and they also know that you're probably not swayed by the same tricks that work on 20-something boys. Instead of coming on too strong, they mix subtle, safe tests with bolder hints to see how you'll respond. The beauty of it is that these signs often hide in plain sight. If you're not paying close attention, you might think she's just being friendly or curious. But there's a rhythm to it, a calculated way of nudging you toward noticing her without making it feel forced. She wants to keep her pride intact in case you're not interested, but at the same time, she's planting thoughts in your mind. Today, I'm going to break down the exact signs younger women use to hit on older men. Now, I'm not talking about the generic stuff. These are the real, subtle plays that most men completely miss. If you've seen two or more of these signs from the same woman, chances are she's not just being nice. 1. She brings up age gaps casually. If a younger woman keeps finding ways to talk about relationships where the man is older, it's not random, it's strategy. She might casually bring up a celebrity couple where the woman is younger and the man is older, like George Clooney and Amal, or Jason Statham and Rosie Huntington-Whiteley. Or she might tell you about her friend who's dating a man 10 years older. On the surface, it's just conversation, but underneath, she's testing the waters. This move gives her two advantages. First, it allows her to gauge a reaction without making herself vulnerable. If you seem uncomfortable or dismissive, she can instantly backtrack by saying, "Oh, I was just talking in general." But if you respond with curiosity or approval, she knows it's safe to keep going. Second, it plants the concept of an age gap relationship in your mind, linking it directly to your interaction with her, which is exactly where she wants your thoughts to go. You'll notice this isn't a one-time thing. If she's genuinely interested, she'll weave it into multiple conversations over time. One week it might be about a TV show couple, another week about a social media trend, and later maybe about her own openness to dating older guys. That repetition isn't accidental. It's her subtle way of saying, "By the way, I'm totally fine with this in case you were wondering." 2. She overcompliments your maturity. Younger women attracted to older men often skip generic compliments like, "You're cute," and go for the deeper, personality-driven ones. She might say things like, "You have such a calm energy," or "You seem like someone who's figured life out," or "You're way more grounded than guys I know." She's not just being polite. She's highlighting the exact traits that set you apart from younger men and that make you desirable in her eyes. These compliments serve a double purpose. Not only do they make you feel good, but they also reinforce the idea that your age is an asset, not a drawback. She's framing you as a man with qualities she respects, admires, and, let's be real, finds attractive. In her mind, she's telling you, "You're exactly the kind of man I'd want," without having to outright say those words. Another thing to note is the way she says it. There's often a tone of admiration in her voice, sometimes even a little teasing to keep things playful. She might compare you to younger men in a way that subtly puts them down. "Guys my age could never handle situations like you do," which makes you stand out even more. It's her way of making sure you know you're in a completely different league than her usual options. 3. She finds reasons to ask for your advice. When a younger woman is into an older man, she'll often start turning to him for advice, even on things she could easily figure out herself. She might ask you for career guidance, tips on handling a big decision, or even everyday stuff like buying a car or managing money. The advice itself isn't the real goal. What she's really doing is creating reasons to connect with you on a deeper, more personal level. By asking for your input, she's subtly putting you in a position of trust and authority, which is part of the attraction for her. She gets to experience your knowledge, your perspective, and your calm way of handling things, and that builds a connection that feels more substantial than small talk. It also gives her an excuse to reach out again later, like following up to tell you how your advice worked out. Here's where it gets interesting. Women rarely do this with men they're not attracted to. If she just saw you as another guy, she wouldn't go out of her way to get your input. But when she keeps coming back to you for your thoughts, it's a sign she values not just your brain, but you. And every one of those conversations is another opportunity for her to build closeness without making it obvious she's flirting. 4. She mirrors your lifestyle habits. When a younger woman is into an older man, she often starts subtly aligning herself with your lifestyle, even if those habits weren't part of her routine before. Maybe she notices you drink a certain type of coffee, and suddenly she's recently gotten into it. Or perhaps you mention enjoying early morning workouts, and next thing you know, she's talking about how she's been trying to be more of a morning person. This isn't coincidence. It's her way of closing the gap between your worlds. Mirroring serves a psychological purpose. When two people have overlapping habits and routines, it creates a sense of compatibility and familiarity, even if the relationship hasn't turned romantic yet. For her, it's a way to show you, without saying a word, that she can fit seamlessly into your life. She wants you to see her as someone who understands your rhythm, not someone you'd have to adjust to. This can go deeper than hobbies. If you talk about valuing quiet nights over wild parties, she might start hinting that she's over the club scene. If you mention liking certain books, travel spots, or fitness styles, she'll sprinkle those into conversations too. Each of these adjustments is a silent pitch. See, I'm already aligned with the way you live. And while it seems harmless, it's a powerful way to build attraction without direct flirting. 5. She playfully challenges you. You might think that a younger woman hitting on an older man would always be sweet, polite, and overly respectful, but often the opposite is true. If she's attracted, she might start playfully challenging you, teasing you, or throwing lighthearted jabs. She could mock you for sounding like a dad when you give advice, or jokingly call you old man in a way that's clearly meant to be flirtatious, not insulting. This banter isn't meant to push you away. It's a way to create tension and chemistry. Playful challenges give her a chance to break down any intimidation she might feel toward you because of your age or experience. It also allows her to flip the script. Instead of acting like a shy admirer, she positions herself as someone who can keep up with you and even throw you off balance a little. That push-pull dynamic can be very attractive because it creates a kind of verbal sparring match that feels unique to your connection. If you pay attention, these challenges often come with a smile, a sparkle in her eyes, or even a quick touch on the arm. She's not trying to win an argument. She's trying to create an energy that's playful but charged. And in many cases, the teasing will be about things she actually finds charming. Your taste in music, your way of talking, or your serious demeanor. It's her way of saying, I like you enough to mess with you. 6. She creates situations to be alone with you. Group settings are one thing, but if a younger woman is interested in an older man, she'll often try to create moments where it's just the two of you. She might ask if you can help her with something that requires privacy, or wait until everyone else leaves before starting a deeper conversation. This isn't accidental. It's intentional space-making so you can interact without distractions or outside pressure. When you're alone, she could drop her guard more and be bolder with her words, body language, and tone. She can lean in closer, hold eye contact longer, and talk about topics that feel too personal for a group setting. These moments are where she can signal attraction without the fear of being overheard or judged by others. It's a safe environment for subtle flirting to happen naturally. A big giveaway is how often these alone moments seem to happen. Once or twice could be chance, but if she repeatedly engineers situations where you're together without an audience, that's a clear sign she's interested. The effort she puts into creating these opportunities tells you she's not just hoping to bump into you. She's actively working to deepen the connection. 7. She drops future references that include you. This is one of the more advanced signals. She starts casually including you in her future scenarios. She might say things like, if I ever travel to Italy, you'd have to be my guide, or when I finally learn to cook, you're taste testing everything. These aren't serious commitments. They're light, imaginative references that frame the idea of the two of you doing something together down the line. The key here is that she's introducing the concept of you being in her future without making it feel heavy or awkward. It's playful enough to pass as a joke, but personal enough to make you picture it happening. Once that mental image exists, it becomes easier for her to build on it in later conversations. This is a soft way of normalizing the idea of us in your mind. Another layer to this is the tone she uses. It's usually light, almost teasing, as if she's not entirely serious. But that's the beauty of it. If you react positively, she can keep weaving you into more future talk. If you react indifferently, she could just laugh it off. Either way, she's planting little markers that make your relationship feel like it's moving forward, even if it's all wrapped in casual banter. At the end of the day, younger women who are into older men rarely make their interest obvious right away. Instead, they weave it into little moments, the way they bring up age gaps, the compliments they choose, the advice they ask for, the playful challenges, the mirroring of your habits, the quiet one-on-one time, and those sneaky future references. Each move might seem harmless on its own, but together they paint a very clear picture. She's not just being friendly. She's trying to close the gap between you. The key for you is awareness. Once you know these signs, you stop second-guessing yourself and start recognizing when the attraction is mutual. That awareness not only boosts your confidence, but also helps you decide how you want to respond, whether that's leaning in and exploring the connection or keeping it platonic if that's where you're at in life. So the next time a younger woman is planting those subtle hints, pay attention. Attraction isn't always loud. Sometimes it's in the little things. And if you enjoyed breaking down these signs, make sure you like this video, share it with a friend who needs to hear it, and subscribe for more real, unfiltered relationship insights.